actually just pulled up on the ticker. Is like someone got a notification, like an MLB app notification on their phone, and I think it was someone at the table next to me, and that's how I found out. And I mean, the performance of our offense over the past 2 years, 2019, 2020, you had guys do some really special things in the game of baseball. Guys are all-stars. Guys have broken records. Our team has broken records. Our organization or records. I mean, we've done a lot of great things, and it's confusing for me. And listen, like I respect everybody who made that decision, but to me it just doesn't make sense right now. But I know that that the guys coming in, they're great minds, they're great people, and I know that the people who are in charge in the office, I know that they want to win. Everybody wants to win, but I guess from a results standpoint, from let's say 2.5 years, the results have been there, and to me, it still doesn't make sense. And they're great guys, but I'm more perplexed because of like the actual results that they've been able to provide for the team.
I guess, I know everybody's got a lot of questions, but just one more thing. You say that you went back to your locker and cried a little bit, and I know that Chili and Tom did seem to have a big impact on not just you, but a lot of the guys over the years. What exactly was that connection like, and why was it, so strong amongst the group?
I mean, as Uncle Chili and Uncle Slate. I mean, they're like family to us, and the personal connection was there. But that aside, like professionally, like they're outstanding individuals, and they produced. And I know that, and for me, how I'm looking at this is I can't be upset that it's over. I just have to be happy that I was able to have them, and they have an impact on me. And I know that I've had an impact on them, and those two guys have had a tremendous impact, positive impact on everybody in that clubhouse. And we're really lucky to have them. And I know that if those two men decide to go coach for other teams, that they're going to be successful with other teams. And I want nothing but the best for them. But this is a new opportunity. It's a new chapter. And I know that Hugh Quattlebaum, he's got a very high IQ in the game of baseball. Obviously different guy. But I mean, he's our guy now. And I hope that he can provide the resources and speak the same language as us. And I'm hoping that we can continue this offensive success we've had this year. And yeah, I mean, it's been a whatever start, but I think that's just a product of the stop and start, just the nature of the season. And and I think that the way that things are going right now, I think that we have a lot of good sauce going. We have a lot of good momentum, and I mean, to me, I think that it's going to be a great year. It's going to be a fun year. All of us are still motivated as hell to win, and it's sucks losing them, but we're gaining two great baseball minds.
Thanks.
Next question will come from Dave Lennon.
Hey, Pete. Based on what you just said about those two guys, what explanation were you given? I mean, if you're comfortable with those two guys and other guys have produced with them as your coaches, I mean, is it alarming to you that now those two factors are taken away, or how do you look at that going forward?
Well, to me, it was an explanation that still doesn't make sense to me right now. And basically, it's the explanation I got is the same explanation that you guys got yesterday when you talked to Zach, our GM, in the media. And And today we had a meeting. He elaborated a little bit more about it, but maybe it just feels like this right now. I'm hoping it just feels like this right now. But I'm hoping at 3 months from now, I'm still not answering or asking or looking for answers for that question. I'm hoping that the answer comes clear, because listen, like it's like we got two highly qualified, we got two really good baseball minds coming in, like to take their places in. And I don't want this to be like no one's, but listen, the people that are going to be here are super qualified, and I don't want to make this sound like I'm complaining or this or that, because that's not what this is about. It's just that things just aren't clear to me right now, and I don't know what the exact explanation is. Still, I'm still trying to find that. I talked to Zach last night. I slept on it, and we had a meeting today, and it still isn't clear to me. But I'm hoping that 3-4 months from now that we do have the answer, or the answer makes it clear, or that the answer is there and it's easy to see.
And just one other thing, Pete, I know you probably meant the Donnie Stevenson thing to be a lighthearted thing, but I know when you guys talk about a different hitting coach as opposed to the actual hitting coach that you have, do you look back and wonder about that being misconstrued, or being, even Chili said today that it probably didn't help the way he was looked at?
I'm not going to talk about that.
Your next question will come from Disha Dozar.
Hey, Pete, just given that Zach Scott has said the firing is more of an organizational direction action, do you think it was too early into the season to make a move like that? And would it have been better for you guys as a team for something like that to happen maybe over this past offseason?
I mean, that's a very good question, and it's above my pay grade to speculate on that. I mean, I love working with Chili. I really do. I love working with Slate, but I'm going to see Slate's based in Tampa. Like, he's not going anywhere. I'm going to see him in the off season. But I don't know the answer to that question. And there's a lot of what ifs. It's like, all right, well, what if we're 10 games above 500 right now? Like, or what if we did this? What if we did that? What if we did this in the off season? Or what if we did this in spring training? I mean, there's a lot of scenarios that you play through that we play through our minds, but it's I don't know. To me, it's still shocking, and it's, again, like I said, I'm just gonna keep saying it. It doesn't make sense to me right now. I'm hoping it will in the future, but it just doesn't make sense.
I guess then, to put it a different way, how difficult for you guys as a team is it to transition to new hitting coaches at this point in the season?
Well, I'm happy that we were able to work with those guys to a certain extent in spring training. It's not like we're just hiring strangers, or getting somebody from a different organization. But I don't know how difficult it's going to be, because I mean, we're not even done with day one yet. I mean, to be honest, my day hasn't even started yet. I haven't. So I'll get back to you. You can ask me that next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pete. Your next question will come from Tim Healy.
Hey, Pete, that team meeting today where Zach Scott talked to you guys about the change, what was the, I guess, reaction or tone from the players after Zach's explanation? And I guess if there was a question and answer portion of the meeting.
They know how we feel.
Who spoke up?
That meeting was behind closed doors, and that meeting was for us and for people on the staff. And if anybody else on the staff wants to speak up and divulge, then fantastic. But that's a private meeting, and what was said in that room was between us and people on the staff.
Gotcha. And were you able to physically get together, or was it on Zoom?
Oh yeah, we were distanced.
In person, you mean?
Yes, in person.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay, next question will come from Wayne Randazzo.
Hey, Pete, just from conversations with your teammates, do you anticipate that there will be any hesitation to build a relationship or to, welcome the coaching of the new coaches?
See, this is what I don't want to get twisted, because like the new guys coming in, it wouldn't be fair to them if we were to act some type of way towards them, because it's not, they have to do their job. And listen, it wasn't their decision, the people coming in. This had no, for me, that they're just as much of a byproduct to this as we are. It's like we're all of us are in this together by being thrown into this situation. Like all this entire situation is out of the coach's control and out of the players' control. So the biggest thing, it's like we just have to take one day at a time. I mean, Q is an absolutely great guy. Q's a great guy, and I'm excited to try and get on the same page. And listen, like he's a great mind. He's highly qualified, and I think he's going to help some guys. I hope he's going to help some guys, and I'm confident that that he will. So, but it's a very sticky situation, because it wouldn't be fair. It's not fair to them to treat them some type of way just because of this, of when it's out of everybody's control. So I'm again, I want to be as fair and treat everybody with the respect that they deserve. If you treat me with respect, I'll treat you with respect. It's the golden rule.
Thanks, Pete.
Yeah.
Next question comes from Mike Puma. Mike, your line's open.
Hey, Pete, Chile by his own admission was old school. Players today are more new school in the numbers, analytics. How did you guys kind of bridge that gap?
So I'm an old school type guy. I'm an old school type player. But for me, I've been doing my homework and doing my research in the off season to speak analytics, to be able to bridge that gap and to make those numbers, those heat maps, and all those great things that the analytic departments do, and to be able to translate those. And all the things that analytics does in hitting, it helps formulate our game plans and approach plan. But I know as times keep going on, the game stays the same. I mean, the game's been the same since the Civil War. And I think that when you get in that box, if you think about numbers, percentages, like the pitcher's going to win 10 out of 10 times. Like when it's game time, when it's my turn to hit in the box, it's not Louis, it's not Chile, it's not the analytic department that's in the box hitting. It's Pete Alonso, it's me. And that's the same thing with every single one of those guys in the clubhouse. We got 13 hitters, and all those guys, as soon as they step in the box, you might as well kick the computer and break the screen, because anytime you think about all those numbers in the computer, it's like if you're in there in that box thinking, oh, he's it's a 2-1 count, he's 45% change up, he's 30% fastball and a certain percent slider, you're out. You're out, you're walking out, you're an out in a helmet. So analytics do help. I'm not trashing analytics, because they help with attack plans, approach plans, but when you're walking from the on deck circle to that box, that's when you gotta go to war. It's mano a mano with the pitcher and the defense. It's 9 against 1. So analytics help, but the game of baseball, it's 9 innings. And the reason why the game of baseball is so beautiful is because you can have the same score at the end of the game, but between outs 1 and 27, there's a journey, and that journey is never the same. And that's why people love the game of baseball, and that's why the game is so beautiful. So I just think that the trend right now is analytics, but I do think that there needs to be a blend of analytics and numbers with quote unquote old school approach.
Thank you.
Your next question will come from Tim Britton.
Hey, Pete, you mentioned working a little bit with Hugh and Kevin in spring training. Like, how much did you see those guys in the spring? How well were you able to get to know them and what's that process like now, starting over again during the regular season?
So basically they were there. They were there kind of watching, getting to know guys and listening to certain inputs and approaches. So I think they have a good idea of like on a surface level of how each of us works and our approaches. But I think you really can't, I mean, they were probably there for maybe 4 weeks out of the 6 or 7 weeks. And then, yeah, I think that they have a pretty decent idea. Obviously they watch video and study and do a lot of good productive things regarding coaching and like quality control type things. But I really, it's going to be interesting to see how they approach things. And because for me, I like hearing different bits of advice, and I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. And we're going to find that out over the course of the rest of the season. And we're going to figure out what works, what doesn't, and try and win ball games. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do, is win ball games.
And then on a different topic, you've talked in the past about your desire to win a Gold Glove defensively. You seem to be off to a pretty good defensive start. How do you feel with your glove work so far this year?
I mean, I feel in rhythm. I feel calm. I feel cool. I feel collected, and I want that gold patch. And listen, like I've been told my entire life that I'm not a good defender. And even when I got drafted, we had people in our front office saying that I'll never wear a Gold Glove. But those people aren't here anymore. And I mean, at the end of the day, like just because you have numbers or if you're put in a box, it's a human. This game there's so many human elements that even though there are analytics and there are things that are extremely helpful, like you can't ever take away the human element out of the game. That's always going to be there.
Do you feel a special urgency to try to win a Gold Glove this year, given that there might be a designated hitter in this league next year?
Well, I just want to win any single year I can. Any opportunity I have, it's each year is a brand new opportunity. And as long as I'm given that opportunity to play first base, because I am a first baseman, I'm not a DH. I've shown that this year. I've shown that in 19, and I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to keep going out there. My two jobs are simple: make sure the ball leaves the box harder than it came, and make plays on defense, make plays for my pitchers, and make plays for my infielders. That's it.
Thanks.
Pete, your final question will come from Ron Blum.
Hi, Pete. When you say you're surprised and shocked by the change being made now, given that it came from baseball ops and given how fast it came, does part of you wonder if a manager change is upcoming soon too?
I haven't even thought about that. That's a very good question, but all we have to do, we can't really worry about these changes. And I mean, it's tough not to think about it. It's tough not to focus on those, but we got to win a fucking ball game today. I'm sorry for cursing, but we gotta win today, as much as this is really important. But like we're facing a really good team today. I mean, the Cardinals, I mean, they have a very high quality team, and we got to beat those guys today. So I'm not necessarily worried, but that when we go out there, we just got to let it all on the table. We just got to let them hang. That's it. We can't be worried about this and that. We got to let them hang.
Thank you.
Pete, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.